Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have for you today some ways to use the distress inks. There's a couple different, there's many ways. And I admit I am a recent user of these. I haven't had them that long, but it's been fun to learn these. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna pull out a piece of the Bristol board paper, which is 250. It's basically card paper, and this is from Castle Art. You can hear how thick it is. It's good paper. It really is. So we have that, and then we have Shuttle Art marker paper, and it is just cheap marker paper. I would not recommend their color pencils at all, by the way. They are absolute garbage. Papers, it's okay. So what we're going to do is make sure you also have a rag, a towel, or something of that sort. So I got things flying all over the place here. All right, so picked out some fall colors. Dried marigold, crackling campfire. This distress ink is antique gold, or antique linen, excuse me. Rustic wilderness and vintage photo. All very good things. I do also recommend that you not leave the lids out. Just have open what you need for the moment, because they do dry out. I've had to throw out a couple because I couldn't salvage them with a little bit of water. They were too dried out. So it's very important that you keep the lid covered. So let's start with the makeup sponge. And I recommend doing this one just like this. It gets a nice even coating. And we're going to try the marker paper first. I also recommend a piece of paper. Even though this is marker paper, I recommend a piece of paper under it. The same is true for the cardboard paper. It's just as a safety precaution. So let me get that situated. Okay. And this is the marker paper. Look at that. You could, if you were doing bokeh, for example, and as you see, the more I press with this, the lighter it gets. Okay. That's because, the amount of ink that is on the and you can see that the sharpness of the lines is not as much too. So there's hardly any there. So if you're doing a particular style and you want it to fade out and not be so strong, just take an extra piece of paper and just dab it on this first and then put it on, unless you want it strong like that and you want to fade it out like I did. Okay, let's try the other circle. This particular item I got is also from Tim Holtz, as well as the or Jim Holtz, excuse me, sorry. All these products so far are from him, with the exception of the makeup sponge. This I got at the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General, $1.25. Not bad, right? And it's fabulous. These cost a little bit more. But look, you can take it off, sort of clean it with some dish soap and put it back on. There you go. I'm going to try the crackling campfire, which is one of my favorite colors. Now, I want this a little bit harsh, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Oops. Didn't get quite enough. Okay, there we go. All right. And as you can see, it definitely sort of disappears after a bit. Sometimes it's not perfectly round with this one, depending on how you're pushing down. You kind of have to sort of push like this to kind of make sure that you get a better more even application. I didn't do that there, and you can see how it looks. So with this particular application, this is recommended. You see how nice that goes down. All right, so I'm gonna wipe my sponge off here. Okay, now this is one that I think I'm gonna have to let's do over on the cardboard, because that paper's getting a little full. Now, this one you have to kind of go like this. That might not have been the best color. You can't tell the ink, but just dab it like this. I highly recommend this particular method. Just kind of move your fingers around that, because the area that you're holding onto is gonna, the ink is gonna sit into it differently. Okay, so you want to make sure you get all the even applications. So let's see. This I got at Michael's, I believe. And I'm just kind of pushing here. I mean, you can slide it, but I wouldn't recommend it depending on what you're doing. But I'm just pushing evenly like this to kind of, there we go. Not bad, right? And that's a nice big one. And then you could take something that's smaller, like this, for example. Get some more ink on that. And then you could take the big one and if you want to, instead of blotting it, you could slide it around like this. Ooh. I would say of all of the things I've used so far, this gets the most even application of everything, wouldn't you say? This to me is the best application. I mean, that's pretty nice. Let's see how it looks over here. Well, see, this is how you could do like an amazing bokeh or something, you know? It's so cool. Let's move on. And again, this is the Bristol board card paper, and then this is the marker paper. So I have the Rustic Wilderness. So this is a I got this from Michael's, but it's from Holtz as well. No, wait a minute, it's not. I take that back. I got this at the Dollar Tree. Yes, it's very similar to one of his things. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's a makeup sponge as well. It looks a lot like the other ones that I have, but these ones are round. So, but you can see they're very similar, right? This is a Jim Holtz product, and this is at the Dollar Tree. Look at that. That's amazing. So let's see how this does on the card paper. And I think I'm going to kind of do a swirl like this. Okay, this might be a little bit dried out. If that happens, just take a tiny, I've got some water off camera, and I'm just barely dipping this applicator into it, and I'm just kind of going like that to kind of get the water on it just a little bit, and it gets it more into the applicator. Now, this applicator is good if, oh, look at that. It did like a little, ooh, that's cool. It's much softer. So if you want a really soft effect, like say if you're doing a bokeh, this is almost even better. It's not as circular, you know, even circular like, but if you wanted something that's super, super soft, you might use a little bit more ink. But I mean, look how much softer that is. The lines aren't as defined. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Now, let's try, I have the vintage photo frame. This is the other thing I got at Michael's. And these, I have to confess, would be better with a larger applicator. Or not applicator, a larger pad of distress ink. Because there's also distress oxide, and that's a whole nother thing. You spray water onto it and it does funny things. That's a whole nother thing. So with something like this, you're going to have to just kind of move it around like that. You know, eyeball it, make sure that it's even. Try not to touch the part that's going on the paper if you can help it. Like I was just doing. Yeah, try not to do that. Okay. That should be pretty good. And you just eyeball it and it looks fairly even. It's not perfect, but it'll do. So we have our marker paper. And if you're doing a really large area, that could be really, really useful. See? So let's reapply the ink. And we'll do the other side. You don't need to apply as much. And truthfully, if you want a super soft effect, I wouldn't reapply any because I didn't use all of it. I just eyeball it. I mean, if you were doing a really large area, this is perfect, right? Next to this one. This is my second favorite one. And they come in smaller sizes. I think they have them in smaller sizes than this. I have one that's smaller. I don't know what I did with it, but I'm gonna set that aside. Now, the other thing that also I almost forgot about are these. And watch out, the ink can be very messy, okay? So, and it can stain. So if you notice that you get some on you, clean, oh man, see what I'm saying? Make sure that you don't let it dry, okay? Because it can be difficult to get off. Let's go back to the orange since I got this out. And this is if you're doing like a bokeh. Watch this. This is the card paper. Oh, you could do a flower. Oh my gosh, hold up. Like there's the center. And then I'm gonna clean my sponge off. You can either clean the sponge off or just grab another one. They usually come in packs of, I don't know, like 10 to 30, I think. So you can either clean it off on a paper towel or fold it over double, never single. Or you can just use a new one, okay? And I'm going to grab the green. And let's see. Oh, reapply the ink as necessary. You know, after every couple of applications, you want to do that because you want to keep it. Whoa, that's cool. Now, I think to do the instead of doing that, which I tried and that didn't really work out, these you get in the section that has like the glue and adhesives. These are in that section of Michael's, and they come in like a set of like 3, I believe. From this is being the biggest to I think this one's like the smallest. Not too expensive, like under $10, I believe. So I'm gonna take my green, my Rustic Wilderness. That's such an interesting name. And I'm going to just use this part of the, I'm gonna actually make sure, okay. And just kind of, ooh, there it is. All right, so yeah, my fingers are a hot mess. Ah! Look at my fingers. Okay. Yeah, I have an idea. Real quick, to show you guys the sponge that I got. I got it in the art section, so it's so good. It's just cheap, like little sponge material, but look, it's so nice, and I mean, you can just kind of It also works very well for pan pastels, especially. Oh my gosh, my hands. So anyway, let's just throw this aside. This is the other side, by the way. As you can see, it's pretty. There's nothing on it. It did no bleed through. This is the card paper. So let's see what the marker paper. Okay, so marker paper, when you use like alcohol markers or distressings, it will bleed through, but this is the card paper that I had underneath. And as you can see, there's nothing on it. The almost like wax paper that they have adhered to the one side, it'll bleed through, but it won't bleed through to the other paper. It's kind of weird like that, right? That's very interesting to me. So let's put this aside because I have such a fun idea right now. Hold on. All right, I have such a fun idea. I hadn't planned on this, but I'm gonna roll with it because I think it could be fun. All right, so I'm going to grab my Rustic Wilderness, and I'm going to get some more ink on it, and I'm going to I love this. Okay, I'm gonna grab my little. So anyway, okay, let's try the yellow. Antique linen. This is one of my favorite colors. I love it. All right. Oops, that's too high up, but that's okay. Now I'm going to get a different little sponge thingy. I call them finger sponges. I think that's what they're called. And I messed up by putting this too high, but that's okay. I can work it out. And I want this nice and strong, so I'm going to reapply after every thing, after every application here. Now I'm going to fade this out, so I'm going to just reapply, but I'm going to dab it first on the something else. I don't know, like another piece of paper will do. Yes, this one will do, because I want it to make sure that it's not too harsh. Okay. And I want this just to fade out. That was a little stronger than I'd like, but that's okay. Now I'm going to have to go back over this green, and I am going to change sponges for that because I don't want them to be too different. That's so cool. Now, one thing you could do to do the bottom part is use this one. So let's find my brown. And remember, this one you kind of need, you can take it out of this thing. They do come out, but it's easier actually to me if you leave it in and you just kind of move it along. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Watch this. And this is the card paper that I'm working on. And you can push a little, and it will get a little more of the ink out. Hey, that's so cool. let's say a smaller one here, and make some. I'm a little short on greens for my supply, so that's why I keep going back to this one. I need to get some more. Just take your smaller one and use the end of it like this and just my freehand art is a work in progress, people. It's all good. Now, one thing you can do, but you have to be careful depending on the paper you're working on, is you can take a damp watercolor brush and, like, say this is a little bit darker. Make sure that you've sort of dabbed it on something so that you don't have a bunch of water running down the ferrule and the bristles into your paper. But just a little bit damp. Oh, see, it kind of blends things a little bit for you. So like that was a little bit harsh. Look at that. Look at that. And I made this like pretty olive yellow kind of thing. You have to be careful if you're not working on watercolor paper. The fibers can deteriorate quite easily. So if you wanted to mess around with the water, I would suggest something like this mixed media paper. This works, as you can see, but this would probably be a little bit better. It's a little sturdier. It's like 300 GSM. So, and the higher the GSM, the thicker and the heavier and the sturdier the paper. So, for example, copy paper is about a 30, 40, sometimes 20. And then mixed media can be as high as 300 or more. So, same for watercolor paper. Look, this ain't gonna win no awards, but I love it. So, I'm gonna try something real quick. Let's grab this. This is broken china. Wow, sorry, my eyes are like old, people. My eyes are old. All right, so let's see if we can make some clouds. I'm going to use this particular color, and I'm going to use this end because it's a little more pointed. I love this broken china. It's so pretty. Let's see. I don't know. This is a, oh, look at that. This is perfect for clouds. I wish I had the space, but oh my goodness, that's so cool. That's so cool. Look at that. That's fantastic. Now, as the ink dissipates, you might not get the same even results. But this is cool. I've never done this. I love this. Okay, $1.25 sponge from the Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Yeah, you want to make sure you keep enough ink on your applicator. That's so cool. Would you? Oh, I almost forgot about this one. Hold on. Let's try the bottom here. This picture's gonna get tossed anyway. Let's see how the bottom looks. I'm sliding it and it's kind of uneven, so be careful which part of this you're using. If you're using this part, it's going to be a little more even than if you use this part. So I would recommend a larger ink pad like this one, because that way you can just kind of be a little more even. And also, don't forget about the sides of your sponge. Okay? So let's flip back to this side and I'll show you what this looks like. It's not as even, but you know, it could be used for different things depending on what you're doing, what kind of effect you want. Let's see how this looks. Huh, that's interesting. You could do all kinds of cool things with that. That's very interesting. Maybe if you're doing like a brick pattern, that would be perfect, right? This is so much fun. I love playing with craft toys and stuff. I have so much fun. Look at my hands. Art is so messy, is it not? Let's see, Michaels. But you can also get it on Amazon. Michaels, Amazon, and none of these are expensive items so far. A couple dollars, you know, under 10 for the set of 3 of these. I think this was like under $10 for a set of like 15 or 20. This, however, was I believe it was under 20 or less, and it came with all these little applicators. So this was $1.25, and you can use both ends. They can be, you take some dish soap or some pink soap and clean it out. It'll stain, but it'll be clean and reusable. Don't forget your little brush to blend with on it. And then we have this, which is from the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, and then this, which is not. This I got as a from the Jim Holtz section, where the ink pads and this stuff is. Okay, you really can't tell the difference. I mean, it's kind of amazing. And then this is from the Dollar Tree, Dollar General. It's a blending brush, of course, from China. Oh, I almost forgot about this one. Hold on. Stop the presses. I almost forgot about this one. Hold on. Oops. Oh, there goes. Whoa, you could do all kinds of crazy cool things with that, right? Let's do the flat side. This particular sponge came with my gelatos, my Faber-Castell gelatos. Ooh. If you were doing just a really like geometric, look at that. You can take your, make sure it's damp and not just full on water running off of it. And let's see if we can't blend this a little bit. Like, take your heavier spots and just kind of, if you wanted a softer effect, look at that. Make sure you're not deteriorating the paper too much. That's so cool. All right, I am definitely done. I just keep thinking of cool things I can do, and it's like the possibilities are endless. They are truly endless, the things you can do with these things. You know, I'm just getting into it. I know people that have used gel plates with them. I don't have any of those, but they're great for like making cards, all kinds of stuff like that. As I said, I don't have any of those, but that is an option. Make sure you clean your hands. Your hands and your sponges before they dry over much. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. I had a blast, you guys. I hope you're still watching. And if you had as much fun watching this as I did making it, please give it a like and a share and a comment. I would be nice. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.